Hello, everyone. It's Alexis with Create Your Future, and we're back today with another video and some really juicy information. So today, you guys, we're talking about why your 3D is fake news and how to ignore your reality, and also the importance of not reacting to your SP. And to go over this information, we have Anna joining us, who's a coach on our team and who's so awesome. So before we get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing in the box below, and also hit the bell icon, and you get notified every time that we post new videos. So Anna, just jump in, and hello, by the way, and just tell us like your initial thoughts about 3D, not reacting, impressing the subconscious mind, and how to really, why that's important.
Hi, Alexis. Hi, everyone. Lately, I have had a lot of clients reacting to things that their specific person does and not actually not noticing that they're doing it, because it's so easy with when there's another person involved that they do things, they say things, and things can hurt when you're especially when you're manifesting a different version of a person. So it's easy to jump to conclusions, to make assumptions that, oh my God, they don't want me, they don't love me, and you start reacting, you start feeling bad. But what that does is that it impresses the subconscious mind. It's actually one of the best ways to impress your subconscious mind, because there's feeling involved, and it's strong, and it's a conviction that, oh my God, they don't want me, they don't love me. And you impress it on your subconscious mind, and whatever is impressed needs to be manifested again. So at some point, you're going to re-manifest that thing again. So on the outside, it looks like you're stuck in the same place, but actually you're just manifesting the same thing over and over again, because you keep reacting, because you keep feeling bad and spiraling down with the thoughts sometimes. When you start understanding that, is you pushed out. So everyone is you pushed out is two things. It's your assumptions about yourself and your assumption about that specific person. So sometimes even if you have a good self-concept, you have that specific assumption about that specific person, that he acts like this and I don't like it. So that assumption makes him, her, you pushed out. When they do that thing and you don't react, you break that cycle. And it may not happen after one time. You need to keep not reacting to it. You kind of take the power away of that behavior. So it's very important to find ways to not react to it, stop the negative spiraling down. So you stop the behavior, because there you pushed out. If you stop reacting to it, they need to shift too.
Right. Yeah, no, it's so true, isn't it? And I think that oftentimes people can get a little bit confused about everyone as you pushed out, and it begins to unconsciously be used almost like as an excuse. Like, oh, they're me pushed out, so that doesn't matter. They're me pushed out. I created that, so like it's okay, but like you don't want to do that either. What you want to be doing is kind of like developing like a la, or not reacting to people that are your specific person. So, or just start like not reacting to people in general, and not creating a mental story when something happens that you don't like not creating a story about it that doesn't serve you, or that you don't like, or that's what you don't want. Like just start to develop a new habit, because that's something that I think a lot of us have been trained to do about a lot of things. And then it transfers over into the specific person too.
It's actually a good thing to train yourself with everything else during the day, or whatever you notice that you don't like. Treat it as your old assumption. Don't do the old way of doing things. Oh my God, this hurts. Oh my God, I don't like this. Treat it as old stuff. This is old stuff. So now if I keep thinking the new thoughts, the new 3D of tomorrow is going to look differently. And also don't jump to conclusions when people say things like, I had a client the other day. She had met her SP without expecting on the street, and he had said hello to her, and from that hello she had interpreted it as if, oh, he said hello in a way that sounded like he doesn't want to be with me, and she made an assumption about it, and that's a kind of a reaction to his way of saying hello. Maybe he was just tired. We came to the conclusion that he could be just tired, actually. Yeah. So it created a negative pattern in her that she couldn't get rid of, that look in his eyes that looked like he didn't want to be with her, and it created a negative feeling. So something simple like that could remanifest that thing again, because you keep thinking about it. He doesn't want to be with me. Why is he like this? If you stop that, and next time he does that, you don't react to it, because when you're manifesting a different version of a person, you need to. It depends on the time it takes for you to fully embody that image of them in your mind. So until that happens, they might keep doing the old things. Your job is to not react and treat it as, okay, you're still conforming. Okay, you're still a work in process.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I just think it's so interesting, because honestly, if you're reacting heavily to your SP and they do something or some things, and we want to be clear here, we're not saying to not cry or not to have an emotion or not to feel your feelings when you feel disrespected, undervalued, not appreciated. We're not saying that. We're saying that don't get off your mental diet. Like, you can cry, you can hit a pillow, you can do something, but we don't want to be allowing your inner world, your inner space, to be heavily affected by what's happening, because that's really where you're reacting. Also, don't go over to the SP's house like unannounced and start doing like crazy behavior. That's also to be. You can cry and sit with yourself, right? But you just want to be really understanding here that when you start to create mental stories about people, or you're creating a mental story about your SP, that's really reacting, because it's the internal reaction that overrides everything else, right?
Yes, about that. Sometimes my clients ask me, like, should I text him first? And it depends on your mental state. If you're in a state where he doesn't like you, he doesn't want to be with you, or she doesn't like you, she had told you she doesn't want you, she's with someone else, you can text them, but they're going to reflect that back to you. If you are ready to not react to that and treat it as a message that this is what I need to work on, go ahead and message. But otherwise, like, always go within. Where am I at? Mm-hmm. Do I feel okay doing it? And also, I also agree that you shouldn't use everyone is you pushed out as an excuse. Like, oh, it's not his fault. It's not her fault. They're doing it because they're me pushed out. It's not okay. Like, bad behavior is not okay. And that is also why you want to focus on the version of them that you want. Mm-hmm. Because using that as an excuse, oh, they're behaving like this and it hurts me, but they're me pushed out, keeps you in that same place also. So it always boils down to your mental diet. You go to the version where she actually treats you the way you want to be treated.
Exactly. Because we don't want to be, like you already said, we don't want to be honoring what is like stereotypical bad behavior or something that hurts your feelings or something that bothers you. It's always feedback, but let's not let it be feedback that's a perpetual cycle for staying in a cycle and using everyone as you pushed out as an excuse, like Anna said. And it's funny because this reminds me of a client who she heard this concept through our videos, I think, because I had a client who said, and if you're watching this, client, you know who you are, who said that her 3D reality was fake news. And a lot of people started saying that who watch our channel. Oh yeah, it's fake news, it's fake news. So I had a client who she lives close to the beach, and she went to the beach and she had been thinking negatively about her SP for 48 hours or something. She saw the SP who she never sees out. Like, it was a Twilight Zone moment oftentimes, because manifesting and their reality gets kind of wonky and weird. And she saw the SP with the third party And she felt like she was standing in the sand at the beach. Like, is this really happening? Like, what's going on? And then she remembered that idea of this is fake news. Now she said hi to the SP, was like, hey, hi, what's going on? It was really strange that she said. But when she got home, she got her thoughts together. She got back on her mental diet about the ideal version of the SP and about her confident self and her self-concept. And I think she sent him a text message that said something like, hey, like nice to see you. Your date, i.e. like the third party, wasn't very cute. And it propelled him. Like it was like she was super sassy about it. And then it propelled him. He called her and said, like, I'm in love. I'm really in love with you. I really want to be with you. My life's a mess. I've had so many problems, you know, and all these things happen. But it was because she didn't heavily react to what she had seen, you know?
Yes, yes. Reaction puts all your focus on that thing. Once you remove your focus from whatever it is, it needs to crumble. It needs to go away because it's your focus that keeps that thing in place. You give it power. So you take your attention from it, you take the power away from it. So it needs to disappear. You dissolve it.
Exactly. It's almost like energetically, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're focusing on the negative, then you literally are creating, you're honoring, you're holding in place more of the negative, and you just want to go to a place where the negative doesn't even exist. The thought space in the mind and the mental diet, where in that reality, those thoughts didn't exist. And this client was a really good example of this, because if she had stayed in the reality of like, I saw him, I saw her, what could she have thought? Like, he likes her more than me. He chooses her. He's with her. If she had stayed there, that would have been the solidified reality. But she quantum jumped in her mental diet. She got home. And I remember she even said, she's like, yeah, Alexis, like I sat down and I was like, it's fake news. That's all fake news. Like, he loves me. He chooses me. He wants to be with me. So she jumped into a reality where all of those thoughts were dissolved because they didn't exist, right?
Yes, and this is about training, because a lot of people tell me that it's difficult because it hurts. It does hurt, but if you remind yourself in that moment that, oh my, what am I doing? My thoughts create. Do I want more of this? The answer is no. So if you have to force yourself to stop it and think about something else, like for me personally, the reminder that my thoughts create stops it right there, because then you don't want to keep thinking about it. It may hurt, but you shift your focus so many times until it becomes a habit. It may take time, but it's your job to do. You can't just know that they're me pushed out, my thoughts create, imagination creates, etc. So I can have anything I want. You need to apply it. You need to do the work, especially when it's difficult, because when it's easy, it's easy. It's the difficult thing is when you get a reflection of an old belief, a fear of something. That is when you need to get yourself together, not react, think of the opposite, think of a different outcome. Do it till you get to a place where, oh, okay, so this is kind of possible. Okay, I could work with this. Calm yourself down, do whatever you need to do. You need to train yourself. Everything is about training. When you start meditating, for example, you don't have to meditate for manifestation. It's just an example. It also needs training. Whoever you ask the biggest Indian gurus, they will tell you, like, in the beginning, you won't be able to concentrate. It's okay, but you need to do this every day to train your mind to think that way, to go to that direction.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so true. And I mean, you guys, like, if this was easy, then we wouldn't have so many videos about it, and we wouldn't have, you know, authors like Neville Goddard writing about it, and all these tools that we have to give us an intellectual understanding of what this is. And we also don't want all of our thoughts to manifest and create, because then you'd also have every thought that you have instantaneously would be manifesting, and we don't want that either. So I think we also want to remember that the unseen energetic laws of reality are here for our benefit. They're here. This is created by our creator. We're creators, from the creator to create. So this is all a beautiful orchestration of why we're here. And it's meant for our involvement and for us to learn. And like Anna's saying, you have to put this stuff into practice. You know, it's like There's no way around that. And you're not going to know how powerful you are until you put it into practice, you turn off a video, and you really just do it in your own mind, because we're giving you all the tools here, but you have to do it, right? You have to execute at some point.
Yes, absolutely. And don't run away from it. You can manifest an SP or not be able to change the version of them and then jump to another SP and jump to another SP. But if you need to train yourself to think differently to get a different result, because otherwise you're getting the same result with a different person. So as Alexis said, there's no way out of doing the work, actually. You need to train your mind to think in the new way. And you can't if you're manifesting, you're in 100%. You can't go back and forth and think the same old way of judging and giving power to whatever is outside of you. You need to always bring it back to you. My thoughts my thought created that, so I can change that. But I need to change my thought first, my thought pattern mostly, before I can get a different result. It's not about them, it's about you, but you need to do the work.
Exactly. And like really simply, I think too, Anna, as you're saying this, I'm thinking like if you're reacting to your 3D, you're not doing the work, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that is, I say that to everyone. Like I always say in session, I'm saying it with love. I'm saying it with tough love a little bit, but like you have to be like you have to be your own coach, day to day, moment to moment. You can talk to us privately, but then the rest of the time you've got to really put, use a new muscle. Like if you go to the gym and you're working out your triceps, you know that you're putting in effort to activate the muscle, and that it's conditioning the muscle, it's developing a new muscle and a new muscle memory, and that you want to reiterate that over time is best for the body. So your mind is the same way. And you also want to be aware that for so long, so many years, you didn't know your thoughts were creating. No one told you. You find it out, and that you want to be massaging the mind. You want to be infiltrating the mind with new thoughts and the new perspective that your thoughts do create. And when you're reacting, like you're not doing it right. I hate to be so blunt about it, but you really just aren't, you guys. Like,
yeah, it is true, because reacting is the old way of doing it. You have been reacting your whole life before you figured out about manifesting. Where did it get you? To arguments, to feeling powerless, because when you react, you're subconsciously feeling that you're not in control of it. So you need to fight back, or it feels bad because you're out of control. You are actually in control if you stop yourself and think about everything that you know about manifestation. I am creating it, so I can just shift my focus and create something else. So reaction for me is like subconsciously knowing that you're not in control. But you are in control. It helps for me. It helps a lot to remind yourself about your power in the moment, and then you go, oh yeah, actually I don't want to manifest more of this.
Exactly. And I think because we were talking before the video started, and Anna, you're bringing up such a good point about not arguing. And the way that I think about it now is, I don't have to argue for anything. There's no point in arguing, because generally speaking, arguing holds in place something I don't want anyways. But I still speak up for myself. I have a way of communicating and responding in my reality, but I'm not reacting where I'm like, there were years when I was much younger and I felt like so powerful. Like my power came from having a heated discussion or having an argument, like fighting for my perspective. But then I began to, have more wisdom and be more evolved. And then you find Neville Goddard, you find law of attraction. It's like, oh, wait a minute. All that time, like I was reacting and holding in place a version of reality that I don't want anyways.
Yes, and sometimes you also take things personally. And when you understand manifestation, things that people say become less important, because you think, oh yeah, whatever, you're conforming to my new thoughts, so I'll just give you some time. It's okay. Like, It's not
Well,
personal. It's just them being the actor in your theater. So you,
well, yeah.
everything and anyone is a work in process. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just think this is it's coming, like I'm getting like a brain download. I think it's interesting too, because if we think about someone, like let's just take an archetype, like about someone who's confident or someone that like gets what they want or someone that just like moves through life and they can handle circumstances. They can they see a problem as a way to be their best self. They always want to put their best foot forwards. Like we all hear things all the time from people that we don't like. I hear it all the time. Someone says something over there, and I always think, okay, great. So that's you over there. Like I'm over here. I'm not going to react to it. Bye.
Yeah, because
You know?
whatever. Because if I'm manifesting, I'm going to get what I want, no matter what you say. Even if it's an SP saying that they don't want you, you treat it as like, yeah, okay, that's the current reality. So let's see in a few days what you say, because I'm going to work on my assumptions about you. And if I keep doing that, you are going to come back and tell me you love me.
Exactly.
So there's actually no need to reacting if you know that you're manifesting, because whatever they say, it doesn't matter. They can tell you that they don't love you. They will never want to be with you ever again. Yeah, so yeah, whatever. Let's just see.
Mm-hmm. And I think that allows you to be a little bit more, when you really come from that perspective, you guys, and you take like ownership of being a creator and not being a victim, like your creator, it allows you to be more playful and just a little bit more having fun, less taking everything so seriously. You don't have to take stock and be, disaster preventing, I always say, and like looking what everyone is saying and like, how is this going to affect me and what disaster is around the corner and when's the shoe going to drop? You're like, oh no, like, oh my God, it's so funny you said that, because haha, like you don't realize what I'm doing in here,
Yeah. yeah. Let just be themselves until they conform to your new idea.
Well, it's so funny too, because like I see that happen so many times where I just am like, whatever, like you're over there acting like you don't even notice me. And then I'm thinking, you notice me, you're coming over to talk to me. And then all of a sudden someone flips, right? And then like I've done this a lot when I've been single and been like at parties and things like that. And then all of a sudden, like Tom, who's across the room, all of a sudden he spins around and comes over like, Alexis, hey, I don't know why I had to come over here. I had to talk to you. How you doing? And I'm like, I know.
How you doing?
How you doing? What's going on? I think you had to talk to me because I know in here. So like it allows this to be a little bit lighter. Like we get it, you guys, that when you have an SP, it's difficult to not react when you've reacted to them for so long. But we're bringing this up today because it's such a better place to be in. And I really feel like it's like youthfulness and like anti-aging for the skin is like when you're not arguing all the time. Because when you're arguing, it's like everything clenches up too.
Yeah. Why stress yourself when you know that when we say you can manifest anything? Oh, I have clients who had asked me, can I manifest it? Like, did I mess this up really badly? Like the situation can be really bad, but you can go from very bad to get what you want anyway. So however you turn and twist it, when you're thinking about manifestation, there's no need to react. It's difficult. Sometimes we do. We have feelings, we have emotions. You don't want to suppress it, let it out, but then go back to, I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. And just be a little bit more gentle with yourself. And remember that when you're reacting and you're asking, did I mess it up? That's reacting.
Yeah.
Even that is having a negative thought. It's like having this whole negative thought pocket in the mind where you're like, did I react? Did I mess it up? You're only going to mess it up if you think you're messing it up. And like people in relationships, they go through things all the time. But the person that's like, oh no, we're going to get back together. Oh no, like he loves me. Oh no, we're going to work it out. Oh no, no matter what, we're always okay. And they have developed that assumption, then they can do whatever they want, right? And then it's okay. Like that's just how life is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about training. It's about training. Yeah. Train yourself to.
Yeah. Like when you were a kid, you had training wheels, right? Most of us had training wheels on a bike. And so you just want to think that as you do this, like allow your training wheels to be on, you're training the mind for a new perspective, training the mind to not react when you've reacted for so long, and that eventually you take the training wheels off, and then you go to a bigger bike, until you're like, you know, I don't know, on an expert bike. I don't bike ride.
Yeah,
But
I don't either.
right? Okay, and I don't bike ride. So if you know anything about that, or who's like an expert rider, like let us know in the comments below. I'm really curious. But like, you know, whatever the analogy works for you is like you want to go from beginner to being an expert manifester and allow yourself to have the training period, new concept, new perspective. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, you guys. So to sum it up here, we have talked today about how to ignore your reality. Your 3D is fake news. The only reality that really exists for you is your decision and your conviction about your new thoughts in your inner world, creating new assumptions. And then the importance of really sticking on that, developing a new habit, and doing all that good stuff so that you get what you want. All right. So Anna is available for coaching, and the link for booking with Anna is in the box below. And one more time, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.